to Business Xpose TV. Aldwyn, Altuney here. Welcome to our Facebook Livers and our YouTube Livers. I actually have the tiara out today for the very first time ever. I thought it's time to step up. Why is it time to step up? Because tomorrow is Good News Day. Yay! And Good News Day is all about inspiring people, lifting people's spirits with more good news in the mass media, helping those that haven't seen Business Xpose TV yet. It is one of the shows on the Media Queen TV channel on YouTube. And just a little bit about me. I've had 35 years media experience. I know I don't look a day over 25. I know, stop it. Thank you very much. I actually featured in the media at age 10 initially. Can you believe it? For table tennis. I was a top junior table tennis player, and I've had an amazing career in the media, interviewed some phenomenal celebrities like Hugh Jackman, Cyndi Lauper, Russell Crowe, and absolutely love what I do and love people who are passionate about what they do. And these are some of the books. I'm actually in 8 compilation books. These are some of the books that I feature in. We've got Elevate Your Mindset, Think Big, and Visions of Success. And I am known as the Media Queen, so I thought I would just whip out a little bit of magic for you today and also show you my little sticker, Inspiring Animal Action. So I am a good news advocate and also into promoting more animal welfare. I think if people are kinder to animals, to themselves and the planet, we will have a much more peaceful world where people love their lives. Now, I have snuck into Patrick Woodcraft's house, and Patrick is a phenomenal guy that I met quite a few years ago. He is an expert in all things video. And we're going to be talking today, with any chance, hopefully, because he should be home anytime soon. He should be home so we can talk about
What is going on here? What are you doing in my house? It's great to see you. Oh, it is my house. I didn't bring my family home.
Fantastic. Now we've got
what's going on?
Gorgeous little doggy.
Good to see you.
Oh my God.
Are you live?
Of course you're live. It's all been ultimate.
Where's your gorgeous wife, Minna? Is she around?
She's around. She's cooking dinner.
She's cooking.
It's so good.
She's good. She's
So we've got YouTube live here.
We've got YouTube live
Facebook live here.
Facebook live.
And you're recording here as well.
Gorgeous. Oh, look at your beautiful tiaras. I love it. You come dressed, celebrating Good News Day tomorrow. And Patrick, amazing video. Wow, thank you so much for joining us. So, how was your day? Have you had a great day?
Oh,
We went down to the shops, bought some new tiaras and new dresses, you know.
Fantastic.
We also got some more food.
Great.
So you guys are all set for Good News Day tomorrow?
All set for Good News Day. And what is your good news today? Have you got some good news to share with us?
We got a dog.
You got a dog, yay. We all
That's
love
good
dogs
news.
because dogs are so loving. Look at this gorgeous dog here. So how old is your beautiful little doggy here?
I think 7 months.
7 months. Very beautiful. And look, she's got a little tiara on as well. Look.
Well, my thing for today is I got many ticks on my report.
You got ticks on your report. Fantastic. That's
Being good at school.
news.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. That is great. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And now, any final words before we bring Patrick in? We're going to talk about video today and how to create amazing video magic. We have the magic wand here and how to run campaigns and also build a community and videos that convert. That's what we're going to be chatting about.
Sounds like Aldwyn's getting serious. Sounds like she wants some answers.
Yeah.
We want some answers. That's right.
All right.
The queen demands it.
Queen demands answers.
I demand answers right now. It's about time we got to the bottom of this.
Well, very good. Let's talk about bottoms. How about you guys get out of here, take Chloe, and I will ensure that the Queen gets the answers she requires.
We got some the princessly duties to it. And I
Princessly duties.
got to go to the king and ask some questions too. Bye.
Excellent. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Love you guys.
Thank you. So
Bye.
gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
Cheer.
Wow, you are so
What a
blessed.
surprise. Fancy seeing you here.
Unbelievable. Fancy seeing you here. I did just sneak in. Actually, Minna let me in earlier.
boy.
I was hoping you would be home soon, and there you were. You just appeared. Voila! We create. See how we create magic. This is how. This is how it goes. We create magic.
So what is the meaning of all this?
What is the meaning of life, Patrick? Now, you're the one who's into conscious capitalism, and so how do you tell our viewers, our YouTube and Facebook Live viewers, what you do? Because a lot of people may not know what you do and why you do it. Let's start with that.
So look, for me, there's a couple of things. I mean, obviously, I'm founder and CEO of Synergy Campaigns. Synergy Campaigns is a full-service video production studio and what I call a transformational marketing agency, right? So obviously, we run campaigns. We can produce beautiful video, but no point having amazing video if no one ever sees it, right? You've got to have good video if you're in business. But you've also got to make sure people see it, right? Yes. That's where social media comes in and promotion and marketing campaigns come in.
Yes.
So essentially, we've built a team and we've got studios and marketing agency, and we do all that. We can do that for people. And
fantastic.
It just started actually 30th of August will be the launch of Game Changer Academy for people who don't have necessarily tens of thousands of dollars to put into full studio production video and big campaigns. I'm just going to teach you how to do it for yourself. So we can go look at a super low cost, because a lot of this stuff, the tech is so good now, and there's so many simple ways where you can produce really good, high quality video at like low cost or no cost. So that's what I'm teaching. So that's the next thing.
And we are doing live video today, of course, on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Now, hasn't the world of social media changed the world of video?
Totally.
So how is that impacting people now who want to get their message out through video? What are some crucial things that they need to know if they want to produce low cost video?
I mean, you know better than anybody. It's like the gatekeepers have left the post. If you wanted to have high quality video, even 10 years ago, but certainly 20 years ago, right? Think how much a TV ad costs.
Yes.
Right? And that was the only way to do it. Either that or you go into a Hollywood studio, into a professional movie studio, and there's film, and it's like, that was just so ridiculously expensive. But now everybody has a high definition camera in their pocket all day, every day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's no excuse for not being able to produce really good video. So with a few little with a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of expertise, a little bit of planning, a little bit of forethought, you can make amazing videos at basically no cost, low cost.
Well, I must say the world of smartphones and devices has definitely changed the world of photography as well as video. I mean, I came from the film days, when you had to know how to actually take a photo back then, you need to know what shutter speed was and aperture was. And actually a lot of people who have not moved with the times have actually gone out of business. A lot of professional photographers I know have really been struggling in this new age of digital photography and digital video. And of course, the whole media environment's changed so much now since 2004, since Facebook started, 2004. Before that, we had no social media. Now we have 2.4 billion people just on Facebook and about 3 billion people actively using social media. So it's amazing how things have changed. So there's a lot of, noise going on out there with so much media and so many messages coming left, right and center. So video is really, really crucial now for marketing, and also because people are looking for connection too, aren't they? And there's nothing quite like video when it comes to connecting with someone and building trust as well.
Well, I'd say there's nothing like actually meeting someone. When you can meet them, you can shake their hand, you can look them in the eye, you can hug them, you can smell them, you can't beat that. However, how many people can you actually do coffee with in a day? You know what I mean? Like it's so limited. So video, while it's the next best thing to personal connection, to actually being there, the leverage side of it is just phenomenal. You can have, basically unlimited. You have millions of views in video in a day. But certainly, hundreds or thousands that's attainable to everybody. And the connection, while it may not be as good as actually being there, it's like 1,000 times better than like just writing text or sending an email or, a post, even a photo. Let's say a picture tells 1,000 words, right? So it's way better than just text. A short video is worth something like 1.8 million words or something. Like, it's just phenomenal. There's some research done on that. There's some interesting numbers.
Brilliant. And what attracted you to video, Patrick? Why were you drawn to the world of video?
I guess there's two sides to that. There's the technical aspects where we see, as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, going, look, we need to be able to get our message to more people, and really, loving business, loving entrepreneurs, and going, video is not the future of marketing, it's the right now of marketing, right? For sure, it's going to be in the future as well. We've been talking about video for a long time, but with internet speeds getting faster, so that you can have, much better definition streaming. We're streaming 3 different, live video, high definition videos right now off one connection. It's no problem at all. Whereas, a decade ago, that would have been a major challenge. So we've got the internet, we've got the technology for it. And internet speed is getting faster all the time. Technology is getting faster. Video compression technology, and there's just so much tech that enables it, and then everyone's got great technology. So I thought, well, that makes sense. Then there's the power of it, obviously, for building a network and connection, which is phenomenal. And there's the platforms for it as well, between YouTube and Facebook, like obviously leading the way. And LinkedIn don't have a live video streaming yet, but I know they're working on it. Instagram, we're about 20% video right now and 80% images. Okay. Within the next 12 to 18 months, that's going to reverse, and there'll be 80% video and 20% images. So they're doing tests all the time, rolling out. They started Instagram TV last year, and that was interesting. But now on their main platform, they're going. Most channels can do short videos. Some channels can do 10-minute videos. Some can do longer, and they're testing how that works with their servers and with their technology. And pretty soon, we're all going to be able to do basically unlimited Instagram video as well. It's all coming.
Amazing.
So all the big platforms see that that's the way of the future for them, because they know that that's how people are engaging.
And of course, TV has changed so much as well. Now there's so many people watching TV on their smartphones and their devices. Then creating your own video content is really crucial too if you want to be seen by people, because more and more people are watching TV off their mobiles.
Yeah.
So
we talk about the hierarchy of posts. So if you're going to post on Facebook, for example, or any platform for that matter, but say Facebook, because let's face it, it's the biggest social media platform there is. Like even just in Australia, we're in Australia, there's 24 million of us here, 18 million active users a month on Facebook. Individual unique users. Like that's everyone. Take out my kids and like my weird uncle who's concerned about privacy, and a few other people who don't have thumbs. It's everybody. Like everybody's there. People go, oh, my market's not on Facebook. And let me tell you, everyone's on Facebook, right? So Facebook have and all the platforms do have what I call a hierarchy of posts. So if you're going to post something, all things being equal, some posts are going to get to a lot more people than others. And on Facebook right now, the number one thing you can do is a live. If you go live on Facebook, it's their baby. They want to see Facebook Live succeed and prosper. So they're going to naturally want to show that to more people than any other thing that you can do on the platform. So lives is the number one thing. Number two thing would be a pre-recorded video. So if we record a video and upload it, Facebook love video. So they're going to show that to a lot of people. The third best thing you could do would be an image plus some text, right? And of course, with your video, you've got to have text as well. With your live, definitely make sure you put the description in before you click go live so that people know what it's about. But the third best thing is like an image. The fourth best thing you can do is just text with no image. It's nowhere near. I mean, in Facebook Live, it's in a league of its own. And then the worst thing you can do is what I call off-platform links. So if you link to like another platform, Facebook's job is to keep people on Facebook. YouTube's job is to keep people on YouTube. If you're sending them away, it's like, what is this, enemy action? Like, you're not my friend. I thought we were friends. And yeah, you're going to send, like, you're sending into that guy, really? So we want to, respect the platforms and go, look, we're here to keep people on the platform as well by creating quality content for people to engage with on this platform. So you just want to, not that you can ever do it. There's certainly situations where it's appropriate. But you want to be really careful about sending people away from any particular platform.
So that includes leading people to your website from Facebook as well, right?
Yeah. So Facebook, they're a business, and they're essentially it's a marketing business. They're an advertising. That's their revenue model. They make money from selling ads and data, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So if you're going to send people to your website, if you're paying for advertising, Facebook are more than happy for you to send people to your website because you're paying for it.
Mm.
But if you are using organic reach and organic traffic, for the most part, Facebook will look for you to keep people on the platform. So I'll give you an example, like the events that we run, we host all our events like live events, and we have them all on Eventbrite because it's just a great platform for managing events, and you can take payments, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So if I was to say to, hey, people on Facebook, come to my event, here's a link to Eventbrite, go and book in for my event. Facebook would see all these people leaving Facebook and going, what is Pat doing? We don't want to show this to people. He's taking people off the platform. So what I do is you can actually integrate your Eventbrite into Facebook.
Mm.
And then because they've set up that pre-existing relationship, so then people can go, oh yeah, I want to come to this event. The Eventbrite pop-up comes up. They can register, book, pay, confirmation, calendar, everything. Great, done. And then they're still on Facebook. Facebook go, this is great. We've provided value for our community, value for Patrick, who's running for our event organisers. And Eventbrite is still happy. They're still getting their clip. But then Facebook's going, we've kept traffic here. So they love that kind of stuff. Rather than just go, hey, just go to Eventbrite and book. And then, maybe not come back.
Yes,
Does that make
very
sense?
interesting. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, the world of social media is changing so rapidly as well. So for people to keep up with all these changes is quite challenging.
But you can't keep up.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
it's just,
yes.
but yeah, I mean, and like, I'll say that in all seriousness,
Yeah.
not because, but if, as a full-time job, and we have, ad campaign managers and SEO specialists, and like there's so many different areas, even within one platform, we've got specialists who just do one thing on one platform. And no joke, it's a full-time job to keep up with the changes in the algorithms and what's going on.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as someone who's actually has customers to talk to and people to take care of and products to deliver, forget it. It's not, you know what I mean? Like it's what I call disposable knowledge is the real problem. Because as soon as you learn something, you go, I've got this figured out. By the time you figure it out, it's changed.
Right.
And it moves so fast. At any one time, any Facebook developer can take 1 million users and test anything they want with no approval from the manager or anything. They could just go, hey, I've got an idea. I'm just going to move things around, and they can just run tests. So there's I have no idea how many of those tests happening to groups of Facebook users all over the time. And then Zuckerberg sits at the top, and every week they report to him, hey, here's the results of the top performing tests, and him and the executive committee can approve or refine or make decisions on what they want to implement and what they don't. And that's why Facebook's changing all the time. But it's the same with all the platforms. Developers can just take things and make changes. So even if you figured this out, you might be in a test group, or someone else might be in a test group, and they're getting results that you can't get because the algorithm is different for them than it is for you. And it's like, it's a full-time job to know that stuff. So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, our job is not to be caught up in all the detail of all the things. It's just to know the people who know that and go, I always think, who's the best person for the job? Right? So I go, what am I great at? I love talking to people. I love presenting on stage. There's a whole bunch of things that I'm great at. And I need to understand how that world works. So I surround myself with people who are masters of it. And I was speaking with a guy in Russia, when was that? Yesterday, who's a YouTube SEO expert. Now, this is SEO just on YouTube, right? And he's getting amazing results. We spoke with another guy who's a Pinterest expert. He's doubling people's website traffic through Pinterest, right?
Amazing.
It's like,
Amazing.
You can't keep up.
Well, it's amazing how good video is for SEO, isn't it? And there's certain strategies around getting to the front page of Google using videos too.
Yeah,
so what are some strategies you can share on how people can get to page 1 of Google using video?
My SEO strategy is really simple. And the SEO guys probably aren't going to necessarily agree because there is, you can go really, really deep with SEO. SEO is search engine optimization.
Yes.
Right? And it's a medium to long-term play. It's not a short-term ROI strategy. It's certainly not a conversion mechanism. It's like a long-term, how do I increase my reach and traffic over time and distance? And it's a really important part of your overall marketing strategy. It's probably not the place to start if you're looking to get some fast results. Yeah. But once you've got a good established business and you're going, all right, how do we really build longevity in this? Then SEO is a really important part of the strategy. As for how to do it, the basic principle is if it's good for people, it'll be good for search. If you're doing anything that doesn't directly serve your audience, then the algorithms are smart enough to know that you're trying to probably get some advantage that you don't deserve, and they're probably going to punish you for it. So the basic rule is look after your people first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next rule is don't even try, get SEO experts who actually know what they're doing.
Right.
Because, you know, and it's different on every platform as well. So obviously YouTube has a very specific way that they do it versus your website, versus your blog, versus, you know, every other platform that you can be on. It's a big conversation. I don't super get into SEO a lot. It's definitely part of our strategy. We do that for our clients. And anytime we're producing content, we SEO it in a way that's going to give them longevity. But we focus mostly on direct response marketing and short-term marketing campaigns. And even before that, just actually building community, which is probably more, you know, far more valuable part of the conversation for most business owners most of the time, because they don't have a community they can actually draw from. So then the SEO conversation becomes like, you know, you just got to look at what's the, you can do everything, but you can't do everything first, right?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do first?
Yeah.
So,
and that's a great question. If someone comes to you and they say, I want to get some video content out there, where do you start?
Jeepers creepers, where do you start? This is so good. So I'll probably even go back one step, Aldwyn, because it's such an important thing. I mean, we get you've got to have video. If you don't have video, you're not going to be business.
Yes.
In fact, you mentioned how important video is for search. Just on that, the YouTube now and Facebook and like all the major platforms have their voice recognition software is so good that if you're talking in a video and there's topics covered in the video that aren't in the title or the description or the tags, it can still show in search results because the algorithm knows what you're talking about.
Amazing. Wow.
Right?
That's phenomenal.
I mean, that's kind of freak you out a little bit, but also, and it also knows if the description and the title and the tags don't match what you're talking about, it's not going to rank you, no matter what tags you put. Right?
That's amazing.
So again, the real principle is, you know, be honest, be real, like actually make your tags what it actually is. Keyword stuffing doesn't work for long. I mean, all these different SEO tactics that, you know, over the years we've heard about, and the algorithms know. They're way smarter than anyone who's trying to outsmart them. And they're learning faster than we can learn because they've got, you know, millions of, YouTube has, you know, something like 10,000 years worth of video right now on the platform, and it's got hundreds of years being uploaded every day. You know, I mean, it's just insane amounts of data. So from all that learning, and the thing about the AI that runs the algorithm,
artificial intelligence, for those that don't
it
know.
knows. It knows, right? And it can learn from all of that every day, right? And it just like, we can't compete with that. Don't try and fool it. Don't try and mess with it, right? It is amazing. Google knows everything, really does.
Amazing. I've seen. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I've seen some video marketers in the past. They said that as a business owner, some very simple video content you can put out is just answer 10 frequently asked questions in short video snippets. And another strategy I've heard is ask 10 should ask questions about your business in little short snippets. So that's the strategy I've heard before, which I think is a pretty cool strategy. Do you have some other great strategies there?
It's really smart. The problem with all those kind of things, and we talk about lots of different content pieces, essentially what that is.
Yes.
The challenge is, you imagine you meet someone, and they're smart, they're intelligent, they're passionate, they're driven, they're committed, they love their business, they love their customers, they've been in the industry a long time, they understand their products and their services and their market. And you can talk to them about it for hours, and they're just super engaging. And then you turn the camera on. You say, tell me that again, and they go,
yes, that's true.
Because talking to camera is hard.
Yeah, it can really scare people. Actually, if you're scared by that, I'd love to hear from you on the lives. Just pop your comments in here. I'd love to hear how you react when you're on camera.
I'm pointing a camera at you right now and say, tell me about your business. Right? And this is really one of the biggest problems that we solve in synergy campaigns, because you've got to have video, but then you can't talk to camera. And that's why, you know, unless you're a professional public speaker or a professional movie star, and that's why movie stars get paid millions of dollars to do what they do, because it's hard, right? Let's face it. I mean, if it was easy, they wouldn't get paid that kind of money.
Yeah.
Right? It's really probably one of the toughest things. In fact, if you look at the surveys they do every year about the greatest fears, the biggest fears that humanity have. You know, it's always number one.
Public speaking.
Public speaking.
Yeah.
And what's number two?
Skydiving.
Death.
Oh, death. Okay.
So this tells us that people would rather be in the box than giving the eulogy. Right? It's terrifying.
Gosh.
And you put a camera on and that just goes through the roof. So we can talk about lots of different, hey, you can share, you know, these top questions or, you know, your story, or you buy your elevator pitch or, you know, different structures for constructing video. But at the end of the day, if someone's not relaxed and comfortable in front of the camera, it doesn't matter what structure or format they've got, videos are going to suck, right? And if the video sucks, no one wants to watch it. So we can put a lot of promotion into it, but at the end of the day, it starts with good content. You've got to have good content. Now, it doesn't actually start there. It starts with having a plan. That's the first step.
Right.
So let me dive into the 4 C's, and we'll kind of go through that in a bit because then you'll see the whole thing, how we actually roll out a plan.
Okay.
So the 4 C's is clarity, content, community, and conversion. Nice. So clarity is all about having a plan, right? We use the Chinese 5 elements, which is the traditional, you know, that ancient 5,000-year cycle of creation and destruction, and we actually go through the entire process of creation in how we develop a campaign plan. Because it's proven and it's based on nature and it works. So we go, all right, well, that's how we create a plan. The second step is content. This is where, and it might take a month to create a really good solid plan because we need to figure out what are you going to say, right? And like, what do they need to hear? And who are they? And then what's the setting? And then there's so much to work out to create a really good content. So once we've got the plan, the actual time in the studio creating good video can be quite short, might be half a day. Right. That's the content part. And in content, there is then obviously the actual production. Then we go to post-production, which is all the editing and the copywriting, the publishing, and there's a whole bunch of work that goes into getting it looking really good. So when we're talking about the actual production side of it, if someone comes in and say, look at the camera, like we'll spend a month planning out a beautiful campaign. Here's all the things, a beautiful content. Here's all the things we're going to talk about. Here's all the questions. Yeah, my background is in literally thousands and thousands and thousands of conversations with men and women from all walks of life, having really personal conversations as a coach and as a consultant. And I've also been around the seminar and events industry like most of my career. So I've seen, more than my fair share of presentations, but not just watching speakers, presenters, but also seeing all the data in the back end, because we put the people in the room and sell the programs on the back end. So I get to see from a presentation, here's what works and here's what doesn't. Right. And there's very specific patterns. So we know exactly what a good presentation looks like and all the elements that need to be there and all the things that don't. Right. So we put that into the planning phase. We go, right, here's the story you're going to tell. Here's the system about your business we're going to lay out. Here's the offer. Here's all the different pieces that make a really good presentation. We just plan the whole thing out. Once you've got a plan, we'll come into a studio like this. We'll sit down on the couch and we'll go, right, we'll have a beautiful conversation. We'll take that script that we've prepared and chuck it out the window and just have a really easy, relaxed conversation. And then it's my job to hold the structure for the conversation. And my client who's sitting there, it's their job just to relax and tell all your favorite stories. Right? And it's so beautiful because then when you're talking to me, it's just me, right? And we're friends and you know me and you can talk to me and tell me about your business and I understand and I care and I'm really listening. And, it's funny because people go, I start going something like, oh, yes, so this is the offer. Oh, for all you people out there, it's like, cut, it's just me, right? Keep it real, because no one wants that overproduced, over the top, kind of silly, and especially in Australia.
Nothing silly.
We can do silly, but not, and we can put on a show, people want to be entertained, for sure. They want to have some fun with it, but they don't want anything this is really funny, because you're wearing a beautiful tiara, and I would say they don't want anything fake. But it's like, I don't want anything pretending. What's the distinction here?
Well, this is branding. This is branding. This is media queen branding, right? And it's about stepping up with your message. So this tiara is actually saying it doesn't matter what your background is. What I help people with is sharing their message with the masses.
Yeah.
And so this is branding, what we're doing, and it is a bit silly. It is a little bit gimmicky and whatever, but it's fun. So
it's consistent with who you are.
Yes.
Right? It's not like you're putting on a show that's any different than how you normally be. Like you love being the queen and being fabulous and spectacular and entertaining and like that's who you are.
That's
it's
who I
just
am.
totally consistent with your brand, with your message, and with your personality.
Yes.
Right? Whereas if you suddenly went, oh, I need to be professional and I'm doing my sale now, then it's like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Right? So this isn't weird. This is cool. And I think it doesn't matter what your brand is either. Here's the thing. It's like people go, I've got to be really professional. I've got to be really this or that. Or, have a look at here's one. Have a look at some presidents of certain nations around the country, around the planet right now.
Yeah.
Right? And, love them or hate them, there are very specific brand. If you think back over former presidents, they're known for what they're known for. Yeah. Right? And they have their brand. And if one is caught, with a woman who's not his husband, that's a big deal not because that's not okay, although in my values it wouldn't be, but because that's not consistent with his brand. Whereas if it was a president of a different nation, right, if you saw Putin, for example, walking out of a strip club, well, that's just Putin. It's no big deal. Yeah. So it's nothing about being a president, you have to be a certain way. It's about this is who you've told us you are, then that's who you have to be. Yeah. Right? If you try and be something else, we're going to go, hang on. Which one's, so that's the whole thing about branding. Yeah. Like this is totally,
we think about people like Steve Irwin, right? You think of some brands like Steve, Crikey and the army gear and like that's just Steve Irwin, right?
That's
so
just
that's very memorable.
Yeah.
So having
he was consistent.
He was consistent.
And he was that long before he was a celebrity and household name and brand. That's just
who he was. God rest in peace, Steve.
Rest in peace. Bless his soul.
Bless his soul. Yeah, absolutely. And branding is a great way that you can stand out with your message. And I think the other thing now is when we've been fed so many lies by the mass media over time, and I can be controversial in some things I say.
I should hope so.
Do your own research into things like 9/11 and vaccinations. Anyway, I'll just mention those two things. Just do your own research. And
the algorithm's listening.
Yeah, they're listening.
The algorithm is listening.
Yeah, they're listening. And I don't care because the thing is to speak your truth, right? Now, do your own research in these things. Now, I come from a media background. I've been a photojournalist for many years, and people are sick of the lies that they've been fed, alleged lies they've been fed by the mass media. And, when I started to look into 9/11 and someone said, it's an inside job, don't you? And I was like, what do you mean it's an inside job? I had no idea, right? And then I started to do some research. Now with the fantastic world of social media, we have more than just a few media conglomerates brainwashing the masses with their messages. And, with so many people being brainwashed and not realize they're being brainwashed, and people like David Icke and Julian Assange, and look how much he's been persecuted for sharing the truth. So now I think we're in a whole new economy where people want the truth, they want authenticity. And so with your video marketing, and this is what I say to people when I'm doing media training, I say just be strong in your truth, because anytime you step up with your message, you put yourself out with your message, there's going to be people that love you and there's going to be people that hate you, and it's okay, because we're not here to be loved by everyone as much as we love to be loved by everyone. The fact is, you are here to speak your truth, and if there is something you are passionate about and you want to make a difference out there, I highly encourage you to do that. And the best way to do it is through videos. So here we are talking about videos, and that's the thing, is to get over your nerves, you need to be true to yourself and be true to your cause, and of course,
that's so difficult. We say to people, just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Are you kidding me?
Now, I can relate to that, because when I was 11 years of age, I was on Cartoon Connection, and I remember the TV host on Channel 7 in the Sydney studios turned to me and said, don't think of the 2 million people watching this right now, right? So
that's really helpful. Thanks a lot for that.
So as an 11-year-old, all I could see in the camera was 2 million people watching this right now. I totally froze. It was the worst thing to do ever. However, they did have a tennis table in the studio, and I could play table this very well. So I played with my brother at the time. We just kept that ball going with the forehand, So we had an unconscious competence in playing table tennis. But as far as video, I totally freaked out when I thought about 2 million people. I've come a long way since then and done a lot of personal development. I'm okay with that now. So what are some tips you give people to overcome their nerves when it comes to doing video?
Perfect. Well, look, the first thing is don't think of the 2 million. I don't know say that.
Don't say that.
Right. I mean, there's a few things. And one of the things people don't understand is the first time you see yourself on video. I don't know if you remember. You record something, you go, "That was pretty all right." Oh, yeah. And then you watch it and you go, and here's why. And this is the science to this.
Right.
So when you look at yourself in the mirror, right? Here's my right hand, and you see a mirror image of yourself.
Mm.
But that's not what the rest of the world see. The rest of the world see you as you are, not the mirror image of you. Because mirror image is actually you in reverse.
Right.
Right? If you're reading the title of a book, show me a book.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, let's get on.
So if I look at this, it looks right.
Yes.
But if I looked at it in a mirror,
yes,
it'll be back to front.
Right.
So when you see a mirror, you're actually back to front. And you've never seen yourself the way the rest of the world sees you.
Right.
And when you see yourself on film, when you've videoed yourself, and you go, "That's not what I look like," because your face isn't perfectly symmetrical, and there's subtleties about your face, and since you're born, every time you've seen yourself, it's always been a mirror image. So then suddenly you see yourself talking and doing gestures, and it's all back to front, and you freak out, and you go, "I look terrible," right? You don't look terrible. You just look microscopically different to how you normally used to see yourself. That's the first thing. So when you see yourself, don't freak out. The second thing is they go, "I sound terrible." Right? And here's the thing. When I hear you speak, your larynx, your voice box, everything, project your voice, and it comes through my ears, and then earbones and eardrums vibrate, and then my brain interprets it, and that's what you sound like to me. However, when you speak, you don't have all that happening, because the vibration comes straight through your cheekbones and into your eardrums. So you don't actually hear yourself the way the rest of the world hears you. You hear yourself how you sound to you, which is different to how you sound to the rest of the world. So when you record yourself and then you play it back, you go, "That's not what I sound like," and you freak out, right? So there's the 2 fundamental things about how we know ourselves, our bodies. It's how we look and how we sound. And when those 2 are off, you just go, "I'm never doing video again." So the first thing is, if you've done a video and you've had that freak out, congratulations, you've done a video.
Yay!
The second thing is, don't freak out. That's how the world sees you, and you've been seeing and hearing yourself wrong all this time.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah.
So that would be the first thing, and it's super important to know, because when we show video back to people, we go, "Oh, you look amazing, you sound fantastic." They go, right. So I prepare them for that now.
Right. That's good.
The second thing is, there's a bunch of different ways that you can talk to camera. So one way is you can look straight at the lens and you can try and talk to it, and for sure it's the hardest way to do it. Right. The second easiest thing you can do, the easiest thing you can do at the other end of the spectrum, is have someone here who's going to interview you, someone who you know and you love and you trust, who can ask you a few questions. You can script the question. They can say, "Well, the next question I have for you," and they can read the question, and you can have an idea of what you want to talk about. And you can say, "Oh, Aldwyn, ask me about the thing." And I'll say, "Wow, let me tell you about the thing." And the camera's kind of looking in here or in here. And then I never look at the camera. I just look at you, because I can talk to you. And every time I start doing something weird, I can just go, "Oh, no, it's Aldwyn. I'll just talk to Aldwyn how I normally talk to Aldwyn, because that's how I normally talk." And then we get great, you can really get the best version of your authentic self on camera.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So they're the 2 extremes. One is talking straight to the camera. The second one is being interviewed by someone who's in the shot. In between those 2, you can get interviewed by someone who's off the shot. So imagine I really want a video of just me, and then I'm going to look at the camera, and you'll see people doing this on YouTube all the time. This is not what to do, where you've got the words on your computer or the words printed on a page and you're reading.
Right.
Because we can tell when you're reading.
Right.
Right? Like, You can tell.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people use teleprompters, but you can still kind of see the eyes moving, right?
Teleprompters are good because they keep all the words in the middle and the eyes don't go too much. But
Right.
if you're reading off a page or off the sheet and you're scrolling,
Right.
like it's you might think you did it really well. Let me tell you, it's obvious, right? Your eyes are going back and forth. You don't blink. It's just not. It's very difficult to write the way you speak. And if you've written something and you're reading it back, it's probably not going to be ideal. So the other way to do it is to have someone off camera, someone who's standing like behind the camera or beside the camera, ask you the questions. And then again, it'd be the same as if you were here, but I'd look at you, maybe just there, and you'd ask me the question, and then we go, great, the thing, let me tell you about the thing. And I'm really passionate about the thing, and I tell you about the thing. But then the trick is to not glance at the camera and glance back, because that looks really weird. Right. It's like, who are you talking to? What's going on? So if you're going to look at the camera, and then, but don't stare at it, because that's weird as well. So you're going to if you're thinking, you're going to look up. If you're feeling, you're going to look down. If you're remembering, and then, but just, you don't need to plan that. You just be natural and then talk to the camera. If you're going to talk to someone here, it's kind of weird. I saw a video I was telling you before, someone recently, and there were two people sitting at the table like this, and they had the camera over there, and they were interviewing each other, and they never looked at each other. And they said, so Aldwyn, tell me about the thing. And you're like, well, Patrick, the thing is a very interesting thing. And it's like, people don't do that. People look at each other when they speak to each other. And they were kind of like awkwardly glancing at each other and looking back at the camera. And it was like, this is not the way to do it, right? These are professionals, they're pros. They're like guys who know what they're doing. So either talk to someone, or talk to someone who's off camera, or talk to the camera, right? They're your three options. And if you really can't do any of those, get someone else to do it for you, right? You can always find someone who's going to talk to camera. Now, don't use that as an excuse to get yourself off the hook. If it's your business and you're the brand and you know that you need to do this, you're going to look weird, you're going to sound weird, but only to you. The rest of the world thinks it's fine. Don't read. Have your main points prepared, so know what you're going to talk about. Have a structure for the conversation if you're having a conversation, and then go for it. And here's the biggest one of all. Once you've got all that, right, the big one is when you see your first video and you freak out and you hate it, publish it, right? And if you can't publish it, don't watch it and publish it, right? And don't over-edit it and don't overthink it, and get it published, because it'll be the worst video you ever do, because the next one will be better, and the next one will be better, and the next one will be better. And in a year's time, you look back at those ones and you'll be like, oh my goodness, look at that, who was that? And you won't pull it down because you'll love it, because it's your journey. That's where you come from. And your people will love it. And in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, you're still going to be here and you're still going to be doing videos. So the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to get better. And every video that you miss the opportunity to record and publish, you'll never get that chance to improve and grow and learn and become better, right? Yes. So if you were going to do, 10 videos over the year, say that was your goal, or maybe you're going to do 10 videos over the week, like whatever it is, you decide what kind of frequency you want to go to. But when you miss one, you'll never get that one back for the rest of your life. Like, you'll never have that opportunity to have that learning again, and you'll be one video behind where you could be forever. So don't miss any. Like, do them.
And so don't let perfection get in the way of progress, right? Great line.
Because we've never done that.
No,
I would never do that.
No, because no one in this room would do that.
We could check though if there was anyone in this room.
Yeah, are you a perfectionist watching this right now? I'd love to hear from you. Are you a perfectionist? Yeah. Don't let perfection get in the way of progress when it comes to putting content out. And the other thing is that one of the reasons I'm really passionate about good news is not only that I've had depression in the past, I've had 4 friends take their own lives, and 2 of those friends that died within 3 weeks of each other, I realised before I started Media Queen TV is that there was no video content of these guys anywhere. So while there might have been photos of them out there, what I figured and why I started to do live streaming is that with every video you do, you're leaving a legacy.
Absolutely. You
are leaving a legacy with every single video you do. So just, don't worry about looking good. It's about being of service. It's about speaking your truth. And that's what I absolutely love about video. There's nothing quite like video to capture the essence of a person.
Totally. And for leverage, to be able to record that for legacy.
Yes.
And really, on that, Aldwyn, it's terrifying to do video, but so important. Not just for your business and your market and your audience,
Yes.
but when I interview someone, it's, the things they don't want to share. I mean, you just shared something really personal. When you've got friends who are suiciding, and this morning in our event, you shared some really personal, and that's the stuff that we don't want to share. The painful parts of our life, the difficult things. And that's the stuff that when we do share it, two things happen. And I've got my humanitarian heart and also my marketer's hand, right? And two very special things happen. When you share something that's real and difficult and painful and you get emotional and you do it anyway, my marketer's head says, this is amazing content. People love this stuff. And it's so good for marketing for them to see you imperfect. Because none of us are perfect.
Yes.
Right? So when you share your pain, when you share your struggles, when you share your difficulties, when you share your failures, you don't want to dwell on that. And it's not like a big boo-hoo, poor me story. But when you go, this was really hard and I'm going to share something with you, and you share a secret, it builds such connection with your audience. It's so, so powerful. Now, not to say we should do that as a strategy, but like if you've got something that you want to share, so that's the first thing that happens from a marketer point of view. It's the most powerful thing you can do, and it's honest and it's real and it can't be faked. Because we don't want people faking. The second part of it, and why I really encourage my clients to do it, and we'll spend a lot of time preparing for, and I'll ask them about those painful early childhood experiences and life experiences and all these things that happen. And I say, would you be willing to share that in the interview? Would you go there in the video? And they're like, oh no, like that's not relevant to my audience. That's not relevant to my market. That's personal and deeply painful. And they'll share it to me in a private consultation. And when they do choose to go, you know what, actually, I would share that. And they have that conversation on video, it's their salvation, or it's their confession, it's sharing a secret, then that thing doesn't have the power over them anymore. It's like facing the dragon and stabbing it right in the heart. And the liberation and the ecstasy and the bliss and I get goosebumps experiencing, because I've got so many, memories in my mind of these powerful moments when I've had someone on the couch. You know what I mean? Right? When I've had someone in the studio, I've been interviewing them and I've gone, we're going to do this. Could you tell me about the time, or have you had an experience where, and they go, yeah, well, and they do it, and it's like, the energy of that. So two parts to why you really want to do that. One, your audience love it, but two, for your own salvation, your own freedom, your own liberation. As a personal development practice, if you've got some stuff that's really, that you don't want to look at, your darkness, your shadow, that's the stuff to talk about first. Right? Because if you can talk about that, you can talk about anything, right? And that's anyone who's listening is going to go, oh yeah, that's great for other people, but I'm never going to share my stuff, right? I promise you, when you do, your life will never be the same again.
Yeah, people connect on a whole other level when you speak from the heart, and it's even like speaking from the soul sometimes. And it's just saying your truth yet again. So I'm going to turn the tables on you now, Patrick, because I would love to hear a secret that people don't know about you, maybe a challenge that you've overcome that has made you a stronger person. What's something that Patrick can share?
We did not prepare
for
this. This was not in the script.
This was not in the script.
This was not in the brief.
No, it wasn't, but I want to hear, some of your challenges that you've overcome, and, was there a pivotal point in your past which has totally turned your life around and made you the person you are today? Was there a pivotal point? I know in my life I've had several pivotal points.
I hate you a little bit right now.
Besides hating me, people want to know, Patrick.
So, I will share something that I haven't shared publicly before. And when I was younger, I remember it was probably my 5th birthday, right? I'm a tiny little guy, and an auntie or someone came up to me and said, so what do you want to be when you grow up, young man? I don't know, 5 years old. And I said, I'm going to be a millionaire. She went, what I'm going to be a businessman, and obviously I'm going to be a millionaire. Now this was in the 80s, right? So one was like the big oil tycoons and the media barons and you know what I mean? Like the richest, most powerful men in the world were businessmen. And that's what I'm like, a businessman, right? I have no idea where that came from, how that idea got in my head, but I just knew I was going to be, and it wasn't even entrepreneur, it was a French word. It wasn't even a word in the English language at that point. It certainly wasn't a word that I knew. And now it's all about the entrepreneur. So early on, I had a whole bunch of businesses right through high school. When all my mates were getting jobs at Hungry Jack's and Macca's, I was mowing lawns and doing a whole and getting my friends to mow lawns for me and taking a commission, and doing a whole bunch, getting my friends to do my paper runs for me and taking a commission. And it was a great business because at that age I knew nothing about taxation. It was fantastic. So I got in early into the seminar and events industry. I started listening to these gurus, these amazing, charismatic personalities as speakers, and they talk about traveling the world, working with clients, growing businesses, and I'm like, man, if I wasn't sold before, that is me. Like, I'm all about that. And anyone that knows me now knows that, the two big loves of my life is business and family, right? I think those two institutions absolutely have the power to change the world. Businesses are changing the world in more ways than governments or not-for-profits or any other sector can. And families, is so important, because if we don't have peaceful families, we're never going to have a peaceful world. Right? So it's like those two institutions are what's most dear to my heart. So I got in the seminar and events industry, and I started, watching these speakers and gurus, and I figured that I didn't have the tens of thousands of dollars as a young guy to buy into their programs, but I thought if I worked for them, then I'd get access to all the education and learning, but I'd also get behind the scenes, because I've just got a huge thirst for knowledge. Like, I've got to know how stuff works and what makes it tick, and I have to know everything. I pull things apart, and I'm solving riddles in my head all the time, like things don't seem to match. I'm thinking about it all the time. So I went, well, if I could get behind the scenes, I could see how these guys run their world-class organizations. For sure, some are better, some are better than others. But you know what? And here's the shit. So this is the lead up to it. Are you ready? Here's the crescendo. I've just realized recently that the promise of, start a business, make millions of dollars, lie on the beach, drinking pina coladas, and just live happily ever after. And that's not necessarily the dream I was chasing, but you know what I mean? Like that kind of promise.
Yeah.
So there was the promise was a little while ago, was work hard, get a good job, go to uni, get good grades, get a good job, set for life, right? Most of my generation, I was born in 1980, and that was really the start of the millennials, so 1980 to 2000. Most of the millennials looked at that and just went, no thanks, right? So they've all got, if our parents had 5 jobs, we'll have 5 at the same time. Right, and a side hustle and something on the go, and, you know what I mean? Like that's what culture's doing right now. So they're going, right, how can I really, live that kind of a lifestyle? The problem with putting people on the spot and saying, share me a thing, they tend to ramble. I know I'm rambling. My apologies.
No, it's all good, because we're getting the overall picture. So it's all good. And this is challenging. I have asked Patrick right now a very challenging question that he wasn't expecting. However, this is all part of it. It's all part of the journey, and it's perfect. It's just perfect the way it's coming out. So this is the thing with video too, is that sometimes when you get self-conscious, getting in your head, then you're not sharing from the heart. So I suggest that you go back to your heart, which I know that you come from your heart all the time, Patrick.
But we're just going to talk about how smart I am and how many things I know. You make me look really good.
I just wanted to get to know you a little bit. So that's great. You've been in the seminar industry a long time. You said you wanted to be a millionaire as a child.
So the promise was basically, get into business, use business for cash flow, and then use your cash flow to buy cash-producing assets, as like this is business as a wealth creation strategy, and then your property and shares, and build your portfolio as a wealth retention strategy, and then go and do what you want to do with your life. And I realized just literally, I've been looking at this over the last few months, and going, I've been chasing that my whole life, and that's not how it works. So build business, get cash flow, create financial security and wealth and freedom, go and do what you love. It's all back to front. It starts with doing what you love. Find your passion and purpose first. Do that, and then the other stuff will take care of itself, right? rather than chasing all the money and the fame and the fortune and the business success and the accolades and all the things that come with that, all the stuff that I thought was going to bring fulfillment, so that then one day I could go and, you know, have a nice life and do what I love. It's like it's all on its head. It's totally on its head. Start with your passion and your purpose. Keep yourself in positive cash flow, and follow that flow. That's how we're doing it now. And I tell you, in terms of meaning and purpose and fulfillment, off the charts. In terms of profitability, we'll see. However, there's a strong precedence to say you're heading in the right direction, right? Because we're looking at businesses everywhere. We had Paul Dunn at breakfast this morning, and he was able to share from his experience over a decade with B1G1 in saying that businesses that, and he's not the only one, obviously, it's just a recent example. Businesses that are putting their purpose first are finding far greater profits. And we'll see businesses everywhere that are profit first, and you know, their purpose is to create profits. They're failing all the time. So, you know, it's purpose first. It's what is that thing in your business? You've got to be profitable. There's nothing wrong with being profitable. In fact, the more profitable, the better. 100%. But if the purpose of your business and your life is just to make more money, it's not sustainable. It's not going to work. I mean, I have to, we have to eat food to sustain life, right? I've got to drink water to be able to survive. But the purpose of my life isn't to eat food and drink water. That's just a function of survival. Like, your business has to be profitable, but that's just a function of its survival. That's not its purpose. And that's where we've got capitalism all wrong, right? This whole idea that capitalism and you know, corporations are just all about profit and maximizing revenue and shareholder value. The real deal is stakeholder value, and not the shareholders are super important stakeholders, and they absolutely need to be looked after for their investment in creating that. But so are the team members, and so are the customers, and so are the suppliers, and so is the community, and all these stakeholders need to be looked after and honoured, because if any one group is missing out, then that organisation has a weakness, and it's not going to be able to deliver to, and usually it's shareholder value that they're making the priority. If it doesn't look after all the stakeholders, it's not going to be able to look after their most treasured stakeholder, and they can't fake it. So when they truly look after everybody in the organisation, then the shareholders are really happy as well. You know what I mean? And that's been the challenge and the journey for me, just literally in the last few weeks, but especially even over the last few months, to go, why are we doing this? Right? Are we really just doing this for money? Are you kidding me? Like, that's not the game. It's not worth it. So now we're going, how can we use our business to support business owners, especially, I mean, most of our people have families, have young children or children in primary school, children in high school, and they're building a business with the extra challenge of you know, running a family as well. Running a family is full on. It's no joke, right? If you've got a job and you're working hard and you've got kids to take care of, you know it's full on. And running a business is no joke. Like, it's full on. So you do both of those things, like, respect. You know what I mean? Like, that's
absolutely. Well, I have respect for you. I have a 12-year-old cat, and I mean, my cat's hard enough to look after, let alone 3 kids, and, you know, keeping the wife happy, and, you know, which obviously you do very well, because Minna's gorgeous, and your relationship is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Just winding back just a little bit, thank you so much for sharing that, because it's interesting. You know, people say, well, when I have the money, then I'll do this, then I'll be happy. But really, it comes back to, what is it that makes you happy? What is your purpose? What is it? You know, what is it that you love to do? That if money wasn't an issue, you would love to do that. And I often say, love what you do, the money will come. Love what you do, the money will come. So it is about how you're being in life, and it's about enjoying the journey of life. It's enjoying the roller coaster of life. Sometimes you have your ups and downs, and sometimes you feel like you're going round and round, and sometimes it feels like you're going backwards. And particularly now with Mercury retrograde up until August 11th, there'll be some people, you know, noticing the technology breakdowns, etc.
It calls it Mercury Gatorade.
Mercury Gatorade. For those that believe that, the Mercury retrograde, that is, I mean, there's, you know, all sorts of stories out there.
I'd add to that, Aldwyn, for sure, follow your passion. Do what you love and never work a day in your life. What was the one that you just said was really beautiful?
I have no idea what
Passion.
that is.
Anyway,
Oh, when you love what you do, the money will come.
you love what you do, the money will come.
Yeah.
It's 100% true. However, if the money's not coming, you got to do something about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the other part to that. So if you've got a business and it's working and it's going well, you've got customers, you've got clients, you've got flow, or you're in a job and you're making money, you're living within your means, and you're wanting to start a business, you're doing something, do what you love, follow your passion, the money will come. Don't worry about it 100%. However, and this is really important, if your business is not profitable, if you're not able to pay yourself a decent wage, or if you're in a job and you're spending more than you earn, or you're barely surviving, it's not time to follow your passion. It's time to get profitable.
Sure.
And like, cut back your expenses, or get another job, or get some clients, or if you're in business and it's not working, get a part-time job. Like, you've got to be financially viable in yourself personally, and don't kid yourself about that. It's no joke. Because, and here's the thing, if your personal cash flow is like zero or negative every month, if you're not being able to get ahead financially, following your passion is not going to work. It's like someone who's overweight, and they say, well, look, you want to diet, you want to lose some weight, follow your passion. If your passion is chocolate cake, it's not going to happen.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not a strategy that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
You need some discipline and some structure, and do as you're told a little bit. And this was really hard for me. I did not like doing as I'm told. You're a rebel too. And it's like,
I felt a bit of that
you are not the boss of me. Don't you tell me what to do. So it's like, but if you're in that situation of just enough money each month to have nothing, or you're actually going backwards financially, you need to fix that first and take drastic action and get it sorted, because basically what that does is puts you into a fight or flight kind of mindset. It puts you into a survival mindset or even a victim mindset. And from that place, you can't create anything wonderful or fabulous or valuable for anyone else. You think you can, but you can't see the world clearly, and you don't know what's going on. And I think it's super important, because the follow your passion thing, it's so true and so beautiful. And I just love that. And I sing that with you, and I say, yes, unless you're not profitable, then get profitable first. And then as soon as you're financially viable and you can take a deep breath, you can relax, and you go, we're okay. We're going to make it through the month. Actually, we've got some money left over. Follow your passion. Right? Absolutely. Don't keep chasing the money.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's so important, because that,
you
can get either side of the story.
Sure.
But I love to put things in context and go, look, here's the whole picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do still need to send invoices, and sometimes you need to
Get paid.
follow up on those invoices too sometimes, right?
Paid.
So
Totally.
they're all important. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great points there, Patrick. Yes, make sure you're financially viable. And the thing is there too, now this could be a whole other show that we could do, money mindset is a huge thing. Money doesn't grow on trees, all these things, I'm not made of money, all these, only greedy people have a lot of money. Like, if anyone has those kind of subconscious beliefs going on, then they're going to stop themselves from having money, which of course money is just a tool to make more choices. You can make more choices with that, and you can help more people when you have money too, right? So imagine if you had a spare $1 billion or even $1 million, what would you do with that money? I mean, personally, what I would do is I would be buying up land and stopping the fracking from happening and protecting our environment, because without our environment, we've got nothing. And I know that Rainforest Rescue is a very close charity to your heart. So now we have spoken for an hour, so we'll wrap this up shortly.
Sure.
But just quickly here, what is the importance of having a social cause as an entrepreneur?
Yes, so good question. Well, when I finish off on that, the mindset too, because I think it's so critical. And then we'll look at having a purpose, which is the whole point of a business.
Sure.
Because I don't know anybody who got into business. You think about why you got into business. Everyone got into business for a reason. They saw something, or they heard something, and they went, I can fix that. I'm going to do something about that. As entrepreneurs, we see the world and we go, actually, you know what? There's a thing. There's a purpose to that. And there's something that's driving you that very rarely is the money, right? You've got to be profitable, as we've said, and you've got to make money, and you've got to send invoices, you've got to get paid, and, of course, all of that.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's like drinking water. It's a function of survival. It's not the purpose. It's something that needs to happen along the way, and it's really important. It needs to happen well.
Yeah.
The better it happens, the better. Because, if I find, as marketers, as with the campaigns that we run, the technology we have, and the team that we've got, we can make more money for anyone. Like making money is not an issue when we've got a good client. But I know, if I look at a client and go, if this business, if these guys were wildly successful, if just everybody bought from them, what kind of a world would that create for my kids? And not just my kids, but their kids and kids everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And if I go, yes, that's a good client. And if I've got to go, well, maybe it wouldn't be kind of so bad, forget it. I'm not going to do it, because here's what I know. If we've got a really nasty piece of work and we make them more money and make them more successful in their business, money's not going to change who they are. They're just going to go out and be nastier.
Yes.
It's going to give them more tools, more resources. Money doesn't change who you are, it just amplifies who you are. Like you said, it gives you more ability to express yourself.
Yes.
Right? So if I find a good heart like you, purpose-driven, heart-centered, values-based entrepreneurs, people who really can see the future, a beautiful future, and they're working to create that, and we just bring a whole bunch more money, they're just going to go and do more good in the world. They're just going to go and create more service, add more value, change more lives. And I go, that's what I want to be responsible for. That's why I do it. Because like I said, family and business entrepreneurship are the two, in my mind, biggest driving forces to change. And, let's face it, there's lots of things that are amazing about living in this world, and there's lots of things that need to change, right? So keep the things we love, but the things that need to change, well, let's make sure that we're having beautiful, harmonious, loving, fun, peaceful families, and let's make sure that we're using our business to have the impact and create the kind of world that we would be proud to leave to future generations. The famous saying is that we haven't inherited the world from our parents, we've borrowed it from our children.
I like that. And this is what conscious capitalism is about.
That's what conscious capitalism is all about.
Capitalism. Very cool. And there are so many social entrepreneurs out there doing amazing work.
Absolutely.
It's just so good to see. And I must say, I've had some negative thoughts around money in the past. I admit it.
You'd be the only one. But we could check.
I have had some negative thoughts, and until I started to meet wealthy people doing good, and it blew me away, because I used to think all wealthy people were just greedy and evil, because that was my experience of life. And I started seeing these really wealthy people doing so much good for the planet and for causes and making a difference and building homes and doing all sorts of amazing things, helping the homeless or sex victims or animals or the environment. It's just so inspiring, and keep up the great work if you're one of those social entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And if you're not one of those social entrepreneurs, how can people become a social entrepreneur or businesses? How can they?
Finish on the last question. That was my
we can keep on chatting. Anyway,
I will answer that because it's super good.
Well,
I'm half teasing.
there might be people that want to know how can they step into this.
As an entrepreneur, our job is to take an idea and turn it into a business. That's what you do. That's what an entrepreneur means, right? Can we turn this idea into a business that's profitable, that makes money, sustains itself, and adds value? As a social entrepreneur, the businesses that we create aren't just profitable, they have to be profitable, as we've said, but they solve social issues. They solve issues for humanity and the planet. So whether it's environmental issues, humanitarian issues, there's so many major issues, major challenges facing humanity and the planet right now. We've got plenty to choose from, right? Let's face it. There's plenty of things that we can go, that I can't rest while that exists, while that's happening. That's not okay with me. I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to start a business that makes profit and can solve that issue, right? That's the whole drive and motivation for a social entrepreneur. And conscious capitalist, it's a very similar thing. Typically, entrepreneurs, generally talking about the startup phase and the growth phase and the business building phase. And as a capitalist, the whole thing about capitalism is about making money, right? But as a conscious capitalist, we go, well, my business has to be profitable, but there's a higher purpose to my business than purely making profit. And really, one of the big things is going, I'm not just going to go for profit first, but I'm going to look after all the stakeholders and the environment, right? All the people that touch my business and the wider community and everybody who's going to be impacted by this. Because if you look at, some really good high-performing businesses, there's some extremely profitable businesses that if we actually accounted for the environmental damage or the societal damage. I mean, look at tobacco industry. Look at some big industries that are making billions of dollars and causing huge damage to the environment, to humanity. And if they had to pay that bill, how profitable would they be? Not at all. You know what I mean? So all they're doing is deferring their costs onto society or onto the environment or onto other parties. I think it's completely irresponsible. Right? So as a conscious capitalist, we go, well, I'm going to look at all the effects, and not that, we talk about side effects. There's no such thing as a side effect, right? There's cause and effect, right? And if a cause produces a side effect, that's an effect. So what we say is, oh, if it's not something that we wanted to create, it's just something that happened. Well, it's a side effect. No, you did that, right? You made a plan and you action, and that happened. That's an effect. So a conscious capitalist will look at all the effects created by the business, the whole ripple effect, and go, if there's something that I'm not proud of, that I'm not happy and pleased to give to future generations, I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to find a way to look after all the stakeholders, take care of my investors and my suppliers and my customers and my team and the community and the environment without compromise to any of them, without trade-off one for the other. That's what we're talking about. That's what it's all about.
Which is really long-term thinking, right? It's not, it's not short-term thinking. It's really, how can we have a sustainable planet? How can we have people that love their lives? How can we protect the environment? So many species of animals are endangered now. Future generations are endangered and extinct. Exactly.
And dropping like this.
Absolutely. So it is a state of urgency where everyone needs to step up. I say step up. It's time to step up, folks. And that's really what it's about. And putting yourself out there on video, which is what this video is about. Putting yourself out there on video. We've covered some great strategies.
Heavy, didn't it? We were talking video at the start.
It's a little bit heavy, but we wanted to get to know you better, and now we've done that. So thank you.
You got that. Got these ones.
Awesome. That's what we want, right? That's what you want to share your heart. People will connect with that, right? And what have you thought of this video today? I'd love to hear your comments. What have you thought about
do the 4 C's, by the way? Let's have very clear. We did clarity and content.
Oh, what are the last two quickly?
We're out of time. I'll tell you what. And I don't want to do like a big cliffhanger. You've got to. Yeah. But obviously, I love to share this stuff, and conversations happen. So if you're interested in learning the 4 C's, clarity, content, community, conversion, I have a game changer marketing masterclass on the 13th of August, where I won't be getting into a whole bunch of other interesting philosophy and conversation. You will actually get solid marketing strategy, how to produce video campaign. It was absolutely my intention to share that.
Right.
On this video. I'm not holding out. I'm not a guy who holds back.
Okay.
This is not a, what's it called at the end of the show, and then they say, stay tuned for the next episode. That wasn't the plan. I want to give value. I want to serve.
It wasn't intended to be a sequel. However, it went how it went. Sometimes things flow this way.
And I trust it's been valuable and perfect.
Yes, I trust it's been absolutely perfect too. And I can't wait to hear more detail on the other 2 C's. So just go through very quickly what are the 4 C's again? Clarity, content, community, conversion. Okay, great. And fantastic strategies.
13th of August.
And how can people come and join you there? Where do they go?
Game Changer Marketing Masterclass. Probably the best thing is join our Facebook group. So if you've resonated with this conversation, if this is like a conversation that you want to continue and be part of, I've got a Facebook group called Game Changer Business Network, and we come together, we share smart ways to reach more minds and touch more hearts, inspire more action. We use video, we use social media, and we're all about social entrepreneurship, conscious capitalism, and how can we have a massive positive impact through our business. So all the things that we've just covered and been talking about, keep the conversation going, join the network. So Game Changer Business Network on Facebook, it's a group, not a page or a profile or anything, so search groups. Join the group. When you come, introduce yourself. Say, hey, I saw the video and I'm really inspired by this, or that was rubbish, or whatever your thoughts were. Be honest, be real, be you, and share. But introduce yourself so we can get to know you. And then if you're interested, 13th of August, I guess we'll put a link somewhere. It's on Eventbrite. It's in events in Facebook. Actually, if you go to the Game Changer Business Network and hit events on the side, you'll see all our events there. We run lots of live events. If you're in Brisbane, come to that one. If you're not in Brisbane, zap me a message and I'll send you a link. We do webinars and online classes and calls and all kinds of things from time to time.
Fantastic.
You get my passion for this. I want to see entrepreneurs succeed. and really be able to take charge of our future for future generations and change the world for good. So if you're up for that, I'm here for you. That's it.
That's awesome.
That's
Thank you so much, Patrick. And we will put those links, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, we'll stick the link in the chat underneath wherever you're watching this video. That's been brilliant. It was so great to speak at your breakfast this morning about how to gain $1 million worth of free publicity, which is the talk I do, and I have workshops on that too. So if you want to join the tribe, we have Mass Media Tribe on Facebook and Meetup. The groups, come and join me there. And if you haven't subscribed to Media Queen TV or get the notifications, make sure you do that as well so you are kept up to date with more great episodes. Any final words, Patrick? It's been amazing chatting with you. I loved it.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Great feedback on breakfast this morning too. So that how to gain $1 million in free publicity, like OMG. They loved it. The comments we've been getting on the feedback forms, it was like, this is extraordinary because
Thank you.
Media is such an important part of any marketing strategy, but it's expensive, right? So if you can do that, $1 million worth of publicity for free, hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
got to have good video, got to have good social, be on the media as well. Like there's so many facets to it, but it's like just pick what you're going to do. Pick the purpose. Like I look at everything and go, what's it for? That's where we've got to start. What's it for? What's its purpose? Why does it exist? And then go, why does my business exist? Why does my life exist? And from there you can go, well, it's pretty obvious. Here's the kind of promotional tools and strategies that I should be doing. Right? And if you ever get stuck on that, find someone, connect with me, connect with Aldwyn. I'm over here.
Connect with Aldwyn. I'll connect with me.
Find someone who understands what things are for and have a conversation, right? Join a group of people who are talking about this. Like get involved in the conversation. That'll be the number one thing. Because, and I'll leave on this one, we can't build a business alone. This idea of the self-made man or the solopreneur.
Yes.
It doesn't exist. There's no such thing. You can't build a business in a vacuum.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter what business you're in. You're in the same business as everyone else. You're in the people business, right? You're in the business of selling to people. And I don't care what. Prove me wrong. Tell me one business that doesn't involve other people. I don't matter if it's all online, and it's systems, it's processes, or it's digital, or it's whatever. At the end of the day, you're adding value for people. So if you're in the people business, you've got to be connecting with people. So you become who you hang around. Your net worth equals your net worth.
Yes.
Right? So hang out with good people who are doing good things.
Yes. That's why I love hanging out with you, Patrick, and your gorgeous wife, Minna, your children, and your little dog, Chloe, so beautiful. It's been so nice to be in this family environment. I just love it. I love my family to have an amazing
Should we get it back out here?
family.
Right.
Let's get it back out here. Let's get the family back out
Hey
here.
kids, you got a minute?
We're doing a Good News Day on tomorrow. We're chatting to Patrick Woodcraft, and we're going to meet some of his family. Again, if you missed the beginning of this, or you've just hopped on and joined us on the live stream, it's been great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook. Hello to everyone on Facebook and everyone on YouTube. So great to see you. What's your good news today? We've got Good News Day tomorrow.
Well, Spidey's coming. Look out. What's happening, guys?
Hey. Hello there.
What's happening, princesses?
Oh, gorgeous.
Baby.
Such beautiful
So,
children.
you have been so quiet. Thank you. We've had this amazing big long conversation, and Aldwyn asked me all kinds of naughty questions that she wasn't supposed to ask me, and put me on the spot about all kinds of personal things.
Don't you love it?
Because I was supposed to be talking about how smart I am about business. You look like your best posture there.
You did do that. Yeah.
So we got through half of that, and then she started asking me personal stuff and got carried away. Anyway, it was lots of fun. What have you guys been up to?
Not much. We just sending some princess duties.
So Princess Judy
and
and Spider-Man duties.
Wow, you look good. You look good. You look amazing. Just so amazing. So, what's the secret to having such amazing kids, Patrick, and having such an amazing family life? And we know Minna is here somewhere. Being very
genes.
shy. She's gorgeous too.
Good genes.
Good genes.
Good reading. What do you actually? You know what? I was asked this morning. How have I been able to have such a beautiful, loving relationship with my wife and amazing children? And I really have no idea. Like I just say I got lucky. I really don't know. So maybe you guys could tell me how. And you can be yourself. You don't have to be on your best behavior because I can see you being very princess there. So what happens here in this family that you think that may be different to what happens in other families? Because we got a great family. You guys are amazing. And what's going on here? Have you got some insights for me, some wisdom?
Oh, yeah.
Some clammy wisdom?
Oh, Daddy.
I'm
It's
curious.
Daddy. It's
Stay
Daddy.
with me.
It's Daddy.
What is it?
Show me
What is
this
it?
one.
No, but yeah, but what is it about that? What is it?
Mina's not going to hop in this one. You can see her on social media. I did get her on live the other
We don't like
day.
it.
It was just like it. It was just like it.
We do a lot to build trust.
Yes.
We show a lot of respect for each other.
Yes.
We do our best to not break the trust, because I mean, trust is the foundation of every relationship.
Yes.
And without trust, there's no relationship. Without relationship, there's no family. And then you
And you just go
a
like
bunch
this.
of people who live together and hate each other. That's not family. That's no fun.
No.
That's just a bunch of people living together that hate each other.
Yes, there you go.
We have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have fun together.
We're honest with each other.
Honest.
That's
That's
our
very
truth.
important.
We
Be
talk
honest.
about things.
Communication. Talk about
We
things.
set clear expectations.
Clear
We say here's
expectations.
what we expect. We write those down. We have agreements with each other on how we're going to behave and what we're going to do.
Have a great
We're going to do for each other, for sure. We start each day with intention, and we
Each
go,
day with intention.
here's what we're about. Here's what we're going to do. Yes, we do a few things. We eat our meals together.
Yeah.
We watch the sunset together.
Except for today.
Except, well, it was quite overcast today.
Well, Daddy,
It's the sunset.
it rained on us on the way home. I went to sunrise 2 times.
You watched sunrise 2 times. That's so awesome. Do you want to come in the show?
Oh, I love it. Such a beautiful
I
photo.
love
That is so cool.
Oh,
So cool.
well, let's wrap this thing
I
up.
love it. I just love it. I feel so comfortable here. I feel so at home.
Good on you.
I feel so welcome. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Pleasure.
It's been
So
an
lovely to have
absolute
you.
pleasure. Thank
Thanks
you for
for sneaking
sharing
in.
your heart and your wisdom about video magic. Patrick has created video magic here today. Hopefully you've learned something. Love to hear what you thought. Pop your comments under this Facebook Live or on YouTube, wherever you're watching this. And we'd love to hear from you. Any questions you have too, just pop them in there, any questions, and we'll get back to you as well. Remember to shine your light bright and light up all those around you. Let's go change the world one good news story at a time, one great video at a time.
One full
You
count at a
can
time.
make a huge difference with what you do. So it's time to step up, guys. Time to step up. Final word,
Step
Patrick. Step up, step up, step up, step up.
It's a wrap.
Time to step up. That's a wrap. Thank you again. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world.
Thanks again. Thanks so much, Aldwyn.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow.
Being carried away.